thanks for coming on, Fay. Lovely to see you. It's not as if we don't see each other every other week. We've been very good bestest friends.
Yeah, that's really nice as well. I think there's a few of us that have kept.
Yep.
How many out of the 22 people are you still friends with?
I would think about 5 or 6.
Right, now let's list them as your favourite. So,
Favourite.
at number 1,
Just what
who's
she
there?
knows.
Well, Kieran's here, so he better be top of the list.
She's so polite.
Amanda is definitely on the list.
Yeah.
Theo is definitely on the list. We have my mate Will. He's on the list as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Will.
I do know Will. Well, I know him from the show.
Yeah, he's
I
on
know
the
Will.
list.
But you said that like, ooh.
Yeah, because he's a traitor, you see. And
Right.
I know he's a traitor, but he was a faithful as well.
Yeah.
And even actually, my friends are the traitors: Amanda,
Yeah.
Karen, and Will. And then you got Theo.
Yeah.
Who else have we got on the list? Obviously, if I see Hannah, it's like I've seen her all the time. She's never different. Maddie and I keep in touch on Instagram. So again, I'm sure if I saw Maddie in the next couple of days, it'd be again like we've seen each other for, for good times.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think most of us are very friendly. I think there's a few of us that have kept in touch more than others.
Yeah, I think we naturally gravitated towards people. I mean, Faye's met my kids, met my wife. We've had many nights out together. We're with the same agent. So, yeah, me and Faye see each other all the time. So I think a lot of us... And it's funny because me and Faye actually on the show really didn't have much to do with each other. Nothing.
That's true.
And Faye, interesting Traitors fact point was Faye was the only one that ever mentioned my name as she left the show. My name never got mentioned at the round table, in the interviews, in general discussions. Faye was the only one that mentioned my name as she left.
You weren't a traitor at that?
I weren't a traitor at the time, but I think I was homing in on her. She was homing in on me. We picked up the vibe from each other. We were both looking at each other.
That's really weird.
Yeah, it was. When you look back.
You were both wrong.
Absolutely. Well, see, unless she's got sixth sense,
I had a premonition. That's the difference. And Kieran sat next to me on the round table when he returned.
Yeah.
So when he returned, because you didn't do a round table before, did you?
No, it's number 5 when I come back in.
You took Ivan's spot because I was sitting next to Ivan on the round table, and Kieran came and sat right next to me. Yeah, I remember it.
Traitor.
Yeah, that's when I thought traitor.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got that traitory face.
Everyone thinks he's got a traitory face.
Yeah.
You gotta start smiling more, mate.
I know. I've got that. Yeah, I've got that face. But yeah, we've been lucky enough to be very close friends after the show. I'm very proud to call her a good friend of mine.
Yeah,
and we're the originals. So yeah, it's been great. It's been a great couple of years after the show, and it's not really stopped, has it, Faye? We've got lots of stuff going on.
Yeah, we've got and like I said, we're with Starbucks on PR.
Yeah.
And they're amazing, and because of that, we get to see each other more than maybe we should.
Yeah.
Coming out of season 1, did you follow season 2?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, because I was the BBC correspondent for Radio East.
Right, okay.
So that meant that I was sort of debriefing with them after every show.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that continues for season 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was really good. I had to watch it. I had to pay attention because I knew that all the questions would be...
What was it like watching it as a ex-caster?
Fantastic. Absolutely. It was better watching it as a fan than being in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was different for us. It was... I remember I had real anxiety watching it back, season 1. Not good and bad, but as a viewer, we've had some of season 2 contestants on, and as a viewer, it was enjoyable. It was lovely. It was weird watching people go into the castle. Obviously, we were the original ones, but going in, I was like, I remember watching them go into the first breakfast fete, and then I remember the smell of the wood they used to have burning there. The smell of the breakfast room had such a unique smell. It brought back. I could see it, but I could smell it again. It was weird, but it was good to watch it.
And
back.
when people sat in this position that you sat in,
You're like, get out of my chair.
you were thinking, actually, I sat there. And in the library room, it was just a very, very, it was a strange experience, but it was enjoyable because you didn't have the anxiety. Like Kieran said, we didn't know how they were going to edit the show.
Yeah.
We knew what had gone on and we knew how far we'd got. And the interesting thing is, because I got to 10 of 12, episode 10 of 12, I knew who was murdered. I knew who was going to be banished at the round table. All the viewers were just watching it thinking, I was still at work at this point. Yeah. So I was going into work and my staff members were saying to me, you're going, aren't you, tomorrow? They've got you up there, because I was up there quite a few times. So we better get rid of Fay. She's bloody, she's on to us. So every morning I'd go into work. Remember, some of the kids, because I worked in a school, they thought that I was getting a bloody plane back from Scotland every night. Some of the little ones were going, aren't you tired? You've just been on TV.
I would have lied to them. I'd have gone, yes, I'm very tired.
Milked it.
So don't mess with me today.
100%.
I am Miss Fay's very tired.
Watching it as a fan, season 2, it was amazing. It really was.
I've got a question for you. So season 1, so you go, there was so much that they filmed, and then they put out a fraction of that in the edit.
Yeah.
Is there anything that happened that didn't make it on to the screen?
Do you know what? I would say 100%, but I wouldn't be able to tell you that, and that's the truth. Because I know there's stuff that I said myself in the MIVs, having our MIVs. So we used to have MIVs. I was being dragged out for a MIV every minute.
What's the MIVs?
Your interviews, Tilly, like your Big Brother chair where you sit in front of the camera and they ask you questions.
Is it called media interviewing? MIVs or something like that. Yeah. So you would give your feedback on your day. What happened, Fay? Tell us about you being buried in the grave. So you would then talk to them, and then
what was that like? Because that's like the worst thing.
Both experienced that. Me and you were both buried. Yeah, I mean, it's not an average Tuesday. If people said, "How was your experience?" I went, "Yeah, I got buried alive on Tuesday afternoon."
It was
great. Just a normal Wednesday.
It's alive at work. No, in the actual ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was scary. We were lucky that Claudia was talking with us all the time, and do you know what? I think because the whole experience was so... Was that episode 5 or 6?
It was episode 6, yeah.
We'd gone through so much at that point, but do you know what?
Oh, he hadn't.
Well, they just come back.
But you just thought, let's just get on with this.
Yeah.
And that's all you could do. Just get on with it.
On the Buried Alive as well, I remember my wife, we were literally funny talking about this last night because it's viewing again at the moment. And she was like, what does it sound like? I was like, the thing I remember, when you envisage like what that would look like in films or you're being buried alive, you've all got your image of it, and some people would not do it at all. So it takes a lot for someone to do it. But when I was in there and it's pitch black and you hear the dirt coming on and it rattling down the side.
I couldn't take that.
It was like, I was quite happy. I mean, some of the stuff they cut out for me, because I was in my day 2 back in, so I was still enjoying myself a little bit. I was singing in Living in a Box, knocking on words, but they cut that out because I was enjoying myself. And I was like, I've got 2 young kids, I'm going to enjoy the rest.
Yeah.
I'm going to literally, I was in my element getting buried alive, but yeah, they cut some of the funny songs out I was singing. But I do remember sitting there for a split second thinking, this is surreal. Like,
my thought would be, what if it goes wrong and I'm in here now?
Yeah. I mean, all safety precautions are in place. We had
yeah, but look at Brandon Lee. He got shot in the Crow, didn't he? They have all the safety precautions they want to.
Yeah.
It is. I'm always thinking, what if?
I think the dirt wasn't too bad. I had planned my escape just in case, but I forgot no one would be escaping because we were chained in the coffin and then buried alive. So they made sure.
One of the things that I remember is hearing Aaron's voice.
Yeah.
And now when I watched it back, Aaron was amazing. He was
like a machine, wasn't he? Yeah.
Out. And I remember his voice saying, I'm now coming. We're coming to help you. Obviously, they didn't show all of that on the TV. But I remember hearing that and I thought, Aaron's on his way. And with Aaron, he's 100%. He's one of the hardest workers.
Team players.
Yeah, so that was reassuring. But that was scary. But going back to your original question about... did they show stuff or didn't they? We can both say there was lots of stuff that was said off camera, or on camera even, and they just choose the best bits or the bits that they feel the public want to see.
There would be a show, and I'm talking about they would probably get a good hour to hour and a half film out of the offcuts
Even
because
more.
there are so
Even
much
more.
more. There's
Three
so
weeks.
much
So
more.
watch that.
Kieran, that was 3 weeks.
Oh no!
7.
It was literally they were in the cutting room. There would be there'd be gold stuff in there.
One
Absolute
I would
gold.
definitely.
And particularly in the MIV room.
Yeah.
What I'd like to see is a show in the MIV room.
Yeah.
Just the MIVs.
Yeah.
What are people saying about other people?
Yeah.
Because that you could disclose
Anything. Yeah.
So you could say, I really don't like Kieran because you know what? He really me off today.
I feel like she actually said that.
It was one of the first bit they cut. So.
That's true. That would be this program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I would definitely watch that.
Yeah.
What would you say, Faye, for yourself? And I know you get asked this a million times, all the memories you've got, and there is, as a contestant myself, obviously loads and loads of memories. What would say would be your best memory, and what would say would be your worst memory from the show?
Well, let's go with the best. Winning that shield.
Yes.
That barrel challenge was my favourite.
Yeah.
The barrel challenge, I think it was episode
seven. Beg your pardon. Yeah.
And honestly and truly, we all worked as a team. That was one of the hardest challenges of all of the shows.
Yeah.
We were
saying
it was
grueling.
We were saying no, and I was saying it with another contestant earlier. No, the footage of that doesn't show the sheer. The slope of that hill. I mean, when you see the castle in the background, and when we're going up the hill, you can see how far we've come from the castle wall to the top of the hill. Remember, we were sitting in the castle. We could see that hill, couldn't we? It was rough. It was grueling.
To be honest, it looked pretty easy from the view. I was like, they need to get bigger barrels. These lot are weak.
Oh my God.
And when, at the end, Claudia said now to the group, you need to choose the people that you feel have worked the hardest or should go in. And my name came up. That really touched me.
It's lovely. It was a nice moment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I think Meryl went up as well, but Amanda said no. Actually, I think Theo, because I think Theo deserved it. So it was Theo, Faye, and who was the other one? It was
3 of us.
Yeah, there was 3 of us. Yeah. That deserved the shields. I was like, no, because and let's be honest, when we were doing the barrel challenge, there was people working harder than other people. So there was some people taking
That's
the
going to be
ultimate
the
piss.
case in everything.
So going in the armory, because the armory is where all the guns and all the shields and all the armor. Well, honestly, opening that box, I couldn't believe it because you knew, and this was like episode.
It's 7. It's perfect timing for you to have that when it was fate. It was fate.
Because honestly, you don't. I hadn't slept for 7 blooming nights.
You had the row, not the row, but you had quizzed Ryan the day before, and that's where people started to look at. Because you was on that. You thought he was a traitor, then you went, no, actually, I've changed my mind. But
absolutely,
you were starting to come out of yourself on those episodes.
Yes.
And to be honest, as a contestant to another contestant, you were well tuned in, Faye. Your intuition was right up there, and you were right a lot of the time. So you played an amazing
But that wasn't
game.
shown a lot.
No,
that wasn't on
it
the
certainly
TV.
wasn't.
It's
Right.
interesting because some of the stuff that you say.
Yeah. What made you think he was a traitor?
Who's that? Ryan. Because sadly, he I keep saying off camera because we were never off camera. But when you had those moments where you was talking one-to-one, you'd find out that, I thought you said that you did this. Oh, well, I don't really do this.
That's an interesting point. Yes, a lot of people lied about what they'd done. I don't know if we've spoke about that before. A lot of people lied. Obviously, we know Maddie with the acting, but a lot of people lied about their profession.
Yeah.
Faye was exactly who she was. I was exactly who she was. Some people came in on a lie and they were faithfuls.
Yeah.
So straight away, someone like Faye's going to sniff it out.
Ryan never said he was a trained as a lawyer.
Yeah.
Well, to me, that's the key. He was saying that he was working for a charity company or something. Yeah. Well, if you're training for a lawyer, that's quite a big thing, and you should make that known to your fellow contestants because he would have been very useful as a lawyer to be helping us find the traitors. Yeah, because most lawyers are quite inquisitive. The other thing, he didn't have a dog.
Because at the beginning, my thought is the smallest things that someone does will make you think they might be a traitor.
Right.
But so someone leaving out on because he's training as a lawyer, so he's not a lawyer yet. But I get he's training.
Yeah.
But can around a dog.
Hang on, Faye's just tapped into absolute gold here. So let's recap this a little bit as well and tell you the dog story. So everyone came in with their false pretense of what there was. Ryan had a little photo of a dog that he used to carry around with him. His lucky charm, his dog. You're going to love this. Absolutely love it. carried it around, good luck charm. There's a couple of times when he'd lost it. Poor Aaron went looking around the whole castle for it for about an hour, found this cut out of the dog, took it back to him. He's like, when we got buried alive that day, this is the best scene. And this is the only thing where you can see the photo of the dog in his hand at the one scene, episode 6, 21 minutes in. You can see a photo of the hand. You can see the little photo in his hands. And it is one of the best moments, and Hannah and Will love this as well. And they were saying, like Claudia said, like, he said he didn't want to be buried alive. He had a fear of it. Faye had a genuine fear, I saw the fear in her face. I think some people were playing up, but Faye had a real issue with it, So Claudia said, like, what would your dog say now if he could see you now? And he's like, oh, he'd wish me good luck and stuff like that. But then me, Hannah, and a few of us off camera saying, when Claudia said that, what would your dog say? She'd be like, what the fuck are you? Someone stole me. But yeah, he'd lost this, and we found out at the end where he'd cut a dog out of a magazine, got it laminated, and decided to tell everyone that he had a dog. But that got cut out, obviously. But yeah, that's the funniest scene ever. But so someone like me, like straight away, I was like, so I was on him that day as well. As soon as you homed in, I was homed in. I was like, mate, no matter what, whether I think you are, whether you're lying. I've got 2 lies here. So yeah, you was the one that instigated.
Yeah, and I think that's the most important thing. You need to be, particularly going in as a faithful, you need to be absolutely 100% who you are.
Yeah.
There's no reason to lie.
Yes.
But a traitor, yes, they need to pull it out the bag.
Faye was the first person that was sceptical,
Yeah, 100. Because you think, what have they been doing? Have they been watching us?
Yeah.
Because, you know, they could have been in a secret room somewhere looking at everything. We don't know. And we didn't know. And I still don't know.
The dilemma we had when we were in isolation, me and Amos, and this is another funny story that I've not told before. When they brought us back to give us our envelopes of who we were going to be, when we finally said we're gonna bring you back to the castle, you're going to play the game. We were both brought separately to the castle, both taken into the Mivs, both given an envelope, both revealed what we are. Me and Amos come out of the castle separate times, got into the same car, and it's the first time that me and Amos had eerie silence between ourselves.
Because you didn't know whether you were
think of the psychological behind it, basically. So I've gone in there, I've opened my envelope, I'm a faithful. I'm thinking my best mate, the person I've gone through this trauma with, they're not going to bring. He's going to be a traitor, and obviously he is thinking exactly the same as me. So when we got into the car. We obviously drove to a location and we didn't say anything for like half hour, and that's me and Amos and didn't stop talking. So when I had a moment to speak to him, I went, I'm a faithful, by the way. He went, so am I. He went, you telling me the truth? I went, I swear to God, I'm a faithful. He went, so am I. He goes, so we must both be faithfuls. But for that half hour, I was thinking, oh my God, he must be a traitor. And he was thinking exactly the same, because that's how the game was. Little did we know.
That would have been a great point to show.
It would have been amazing.
It
would have been
amazing.
Why
they didn't show that, because that would have been really powerful.
Yeah, because I even said it in my movie. I was paranoid. I was like, well, I'm a faithful. I dread to think. But we didn't know how many traitors there were, who had gone out. Remember, we didn't see anything. They knew who had gone, who had been banished, who had been killed. Me and Amos knew nothing. We were like, there you go. Have fun, boys. Enjoy yourself. So, Faye, big question we ask most people as well, and that I've been asked quite a few times, obviously. If there was an All-Stars, would you do it? Who would you like to play with? Who would you like to play against?
Gosh, that's a great question, isn't it? Well, yes, at first, of course, I'd want to be in an All-Star. And it's difficult at the moment because we've only had 2 seasons. So where would you get? Are you talking about Australia, Canada, New Zealand, US? You could pick all of them.
UK or if you wanted to line up a dream if the team, who would you like to go and battle against or work with?
Do you know what? I'd be happy to just be in the All-Star team. And there's no one really that I can't think offhand.
Would you like a mix of season 1 and season 2?
A mix, yeah. I'd like a mix. I think so. Yeah, a mix. And you see, I don't think you can have... I said this to someone, it'd be difficult to have an all-star traitor team.
Yeah.
You'd have to be all traitors.
Traitors are all faithfuls. We said this because people
if Will came in, I'd say you're a traitor whether you're not a traitor. See you later, Will. I'm voting you out on the first round table.
Yeah.
Ben, and he said,
I think she'd been very
I
dangerous.
think I would have been great. However, the difference is, you see, when you're not a faith, when you're not a traitor, you can really defend yourself at the round table. Because the first episode, I was accused of being a traitor.
Right.
And I was just saying, right, lay out on the table, just tell me why I'm a traitor then. And they couldn't.
Yeah.
Because I was absolutely looking them right in the eye.
You did handle that very well, and I think it was the best way.
Yes.
Because a lot of people go defensive, don't they? They're like, I'm not a traitor. They go, all right, if you think I'm a traitor, tell me why I'm a traitor.
Tell me why.
And all of a sudden, they've got nothing to say.
Exactly. And I'm a 100% faithful. And I said that. So I think being a traitor is very hard.
Well, how does it feel being... So forget being a traitor. How does it feel when people think you're a traitor?
Oh, yeah, that's not a nice feeling. The round table...
Especially from episode 1.
That was episode 1.
You haven't done anything.
Well, I've had a couple of people. You see, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, remember?
Yeah.
So there was one particular person that was already saying that I was disingenuous after 30 seconds of seeing them.
Old Aisha, isn't it? Yeah.
But I don't say names.
Yeah, I do.
I love it. So
she had a real issue with you at the beginning.
She had an issue.
Beelining
so
you straight
therefore,
away.
obviously, I don't know Aisha. And at the end of the day, that's her opinion.
That was a weird one as well.
She just took an instant dislike to her, I think, for no reason whatsoever.
I mean, that's life, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But what must have happened behind the scenes, remember? Because remember, we all go off in our little groups.
Yeah.
You can imagine she was talking to 4 or 5 key people. Well, they're going to bring that to the table.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. It came to the round table. I defended myself. My name never came up again.
No.
However, in the murder situation, I was always on the screen.
Yeah.
Ooh, what about Fay?
She's on the radar.
Because they knew that I was probably a threat, and I was working it out, which we'll get to later on. I'll tell you why I got murdered, and I know why I got murdered. Do you want me to tell you that?
Yeah.
No.
Let's go.
This is the one.
Right, so obviously throughout the whole of the series, I had a big A3 piece of paper in my lodgings.
Right.
Every night I would go down and write down who voted for who at the round table, because you weren't allowed pen and paper at the round table.
Banned.
So I had to remember who voted for who.
I've got a terrible memory. I'd just struggled to remember who I voted for.
No, you have to. This is really key. And on the round table, what I did, everybody sat in their places. So my dad, straight opposite there, Amanda, because she was diagonal to me, and I had all the names all the way around. Meryl and Aaron and Will and was over that side. Hannah was over that side. I mean, originally in between was what's her name? The blonde lady.
Alex.
No, the blonde.
Oh, Claire.
No, not Claire. Claire was on my side.
Oh.
Can't think of it.
Nikki.
So and then there was Imran. So I had it all the way round, right? So each night I just put a line through as they were banished.
Yeah.
And I knew who had voted for who. And my mistake was, I remember it, episode 9, Theo had just been banished at the round table, crying, upset because he knew he was a faithful. Banished by his bestie, Amanda.
Yeah.
She put the knife in, and this time I'm thinking, gosh, Amanda, I thought she was a faithful. I didn't even know she was a traitor at this time. I think, wow, that's a really strange thing. He was your 100% the night before at the dinner, because he was 100%. He goes up there, he's crying. We all leave, because what happens is you then leave and go and have a drink and debrief and think, wow, that round table's hot. And then I was chatting to Will. I remember it very clearly. Will said, wow, God, that was savage, that round table. I said, that really was. I'm really shocked with Amanda. The way she put the knife in on Theo, because he was her 100% the night before. And then he says, what do you reckon? Will said to me. Because remember, I thought Will was a faithful.
Yeah.
We got on really well as well. He said, what do you think? And I said, I've got this theory in my room. I've got it all sketched out. He said, right. And I said to him, where I'm sitting, and I showed him, the traitors are all over your side, which was Amanda and him.
Yeah, Liz was on you. She'd already gone by then, yeah.
She was that side
Absolutely,
of me.
yeah.
And he said, right. So I said, there ain't a lot of people left there.
You knew
That's mad.
Yeah.
So I was gone.
Yeah.
But little did I know, because I went to the lodgings in the morning. They call you, and you never know. This is the real. There's two things that I feel are the most nerve-wracking: is the round table and
coming down to breakfast. Yeah.
Because you don't know. The castle's huge.
Yeah.
So you don't know if you go left, right. There's about 1,000 doors.
Yeah.
If you go left, you could be going to the breakfast room. You could be going to a MIV.
Yeah.
Right.
And the MIV, again, they used to call you to say, how was your night? What do you think of the round table?
So you couldn't really sleep well either. You couldn't sleep. So you'd survived the table. You'd sleep, but you couldn't really sleep because in the morning it was Russian roulette with knowing are you gonna make it to breakfast, and that was the worst thing.
Oh,
would you have rather have been murdered or gone at the round table, Faye?
I'd rather have gone at the round table.
I thought you said
because I would have been able to stand up and just looked at everyone and said, "You got this really wrong."
Yeah. That you mentioned that before.
But
would
being
you have the
murdered, I always say, to be murdered is a privilege.
It's a threat. You're a threat to
it's a privilege to be murdered because they couldn't get you at the round table.
Yeah.
So it's an honour.
I said very early, there's a matriarch. There is someone leading. There is someone. There's the boss, the matriarch. And I looked at Andrea, I looked at Amanda, and I looked at Faye, and those are my three biggest radars that I looked at. Faye, I sort of was back and forth with. Andrea was a real possibility for me. It was closer between Andrea and Amanda than it was Faye. Faye was the third option. But Amanda and Andrea, because they're ones you'd think I'd least expect, but also the life experiences. All three women have got a cool, calm, collective head, been around the block, could control the younger group. So I was bang on the money at the matriarch. There had to be a natural leader. So
until you went in the turret yourself and saw, was Amanda there?
No, I got Amanda out, didn't I? So we got Amanda out that day. So that was the same night when we got Amanda out. I was on a massive high.
Yeah.
And I was the last one. So we zoned in. Obviously, Amanda sort of sensed it that day. We knew we had enough numbers, and it was a calculated risk. And we'd done the laser challenge that day. And my main focus for the day was just I'm going to Hawkeye Amanda all day. And as the day went on, I was more and more confident of taking.
Because I'd gone that breakfast.
Yeah,
gone that breakfast.
Well, so the cliche is the second Faye went, I'd made my mind up on Andrea. It ultimately the laser was on Amanda. Yeah. So that day I spent all day watching her. When we were lucky enough to catch her out, we had the numbers of the votes. Everyone left for their lodgings, and I was the last. I was going, this is hanging on a little bit. I thought, what's going on here? I'd been there for about 20 minutes after the last person had left, and I was like, okay. They said there was something holding stuff up. So I was like, okay, fine. Then I went to walk out, and they went, no, follow me, Kieran. So I was like, what the? I thought I'd been murdered because I didn't know what was going on. I don't know what was.
Because sometimes there's a kiss of death, which is done live.
So I walked the other way into the castle, and then they walked me into the MIV, and on the MIV was the envelope. So when I see an envelope, I was like, at least I've got Amanda. I'm going. At least I'm going out on a high. Open the envelope, and there was the news of the ultimatum. Yeah. So
watching as a viewer. Mm-hmm. When you know the answer, and you can see, because there was times where it's like you can see you're nearly there, and it's like, please get it over, because you want them to be cool.
Yeah,
that's the thing. You want them to be cool.
That's a very strange thing, isn't it? Because most people want the villains to get away with it when you watch a film. You do, especially growing up. You think, I hope they get away with this. Yeah. But this is the opposite.
Yeah,
you really want to catch them
because we've already caught them.
Yes.
We want you to catch them.
Yes.
Even when it's also the whole concept between, like with them, you know that they're lying to these people.
Yes.
With a smile in their face.
Yes.
And I found that quite hard to watch sometimes.
Oh, really?
The levels.
Yeah. Really?
I think, because we all know it's a game, and I'm happy with it being a game, but there's parts of it where I go, you can take a game too far.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I think, has that person taken the game
too far?
So, and I think those would be my tells, would be if I'm watching someone, what are you promising me? What are you saying? Because I think do you remember at school when someone would say, did you do this? You go, no. and you go, swear on your mum's life.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And that was the thing that made you think, never do.
Because even though nothing's going to happen,
you just don't.
There's that part of your brain that goes, imagine if.
Yeah.
Like something's. It's like when you as you grow up and you want to be late to work or you're on a sick day. So I go, just say the kid's ill. You go, I can't do it.
No,
I can't put that into the world
and
say, oh, my kid's sick because I mean. I will say that when my kids have been sick, I'm like, I can't make kids happy.
It's genuine.
Kids are real now.
Yes.
But so there's some parts where you watch stuff and you go, for me, across the line there, I know it's a game, but...
And I think you've hit the nail on the head. The viewers have already caught the traitors and know who the traitors are. It's a bit like my favourite programme growing up was Columbo.
Yeah.
Because...
Just one more question. When is he left it? Yeah, I love that.
It's about you've seen exactly how the murders happened. You know that it's John over there that's done it.
So season 3 is upon us very, very shortly, really, Faye. Are you excited? I'm very excited.
Yeah. The first thing is the cast.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that you look for and you think, who's going to be the traitors?
Yeah.
Because they show the cast, but who is Claudia going to pick to be the traitors and why does she pick them?
I bet they're really excited.
She them at random.
We don't know that. Well, I don't know that. You might know that.
Well, from what I understand it is, she's given carte blanche to select the traitors. I mean, I would have thought psychological profile. I think everyone gets psychological profiles.
Well, she would have read all about us anyway.
And I would have thought anyone with common sense would say, there is people that would like to play it.
Yeah.
There's people that could play it. There's people that will smash it.
So when you come into the show, do they give you that psychological profile? Do they have that conversation with you?
We have various tests,
we've all had. We all have the full
psychiatric call. Obviously, it's a game of twists and turns. You want to make sure you got some normal, but normal. I'd say anyone's normal that goes on the show. I think everyone's got their own unique characteristics. And traits, but they were obviously the vetting in any TV show now will be at the highest level possible. But I mean, I've done it for interviewing people or personality types. When you start a new job, they need to know your personality types because different people.
And I was super happy being a faithful because of the job that I did. I was head of welfare in a school with children with social and emotional mental health needs. So, to be honest, to portray a traitor wouldn't have been good for me.
That's why you were so good, Faye, because I think you say you played a traitor, but I think you'd have been your strengths it's a faith of catching people. Your intuition is what set you apart.
And I think I would have been now that I'm not working with children with social emotional mental health. God,
I'd go for it.
A traitor now. I mean, it's got to be easier being a traitor because all you've got to do is just protect yourself.
Because you're in the know.
Absolutely.
So what's life like for you now after Traitors?
Busy, very busy. A part of 4 different organisations and 3 charities and 1 other sort of organisation which is a social and emotional mental health in Birmingham called Elements Children in Care. So I sit on their sort of board as a friendly member. NSPCC campaigner. Ripple Suicide Prevention. I'm an ambassador. I attended an event in Portsmouth just this weekend.
We have to also, Faye, mention about the most amazing thing you've just done.
Well, I was going to get to that.
Yes.
I mean, Lawrence Delalio, Robbie Works, I'm an ambassador for them. And the Dame Kelly Holmes Trust, I've just done a trip to Machu Picchu. And I've raised £6,000 altogether. Yeah.
Oh, nice work.
Yeah.
There was a very, and I'm just going to go off a little bit, there was a very, and it made me and Katie both cry watching it. And you remember the scene where you went to the school and you filmed their facilities in the school of how they were, what their school was like, the stuff they had to work and teach. Windows all broken pens, chairs put together. And someone has done teaching all their life and have been around kids stuff. Mate, I sat there sobbing my heart out. I was like, gee, do you know what? I don't know how lucky you are sometimes just to have basic stuff. So that was very touching.
An eye-opening experience. Really was. And
how long was that for? It was for
10 days we were there for, so that was a great challenge, and we all did it, and we raised money for lots of charities. Yeah, I'd like to get back on TV.
You're retired as well, Fay, aren't
I'm
you?
retired. I don't use that word.
Yeah.
I'm just taking a break. But I'd like to do more TV, race around the world or something like that. Would be great.
I'm going to ask you, would you do anything else? What would you do?
Yeah, race around the world.
What would you do?
I'd love to do that. Hunted.
Yeah.
I like to.
Yeah.
Reality TV.
Some good stuff in the pipeline. I'm hearing rumblings. There's some good stuff coming up. Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Yeah,
there's some
be
good stuff coming up. So I think, and also I think, Traitors has been the show that was sort of rekindled everyone's love for reality, because before then it was sort of on a bit of a decline. Traitors.
I think it's because it's using realism.
Yeah.
Yes.
So reality TV has lost, for me, a lot of the realism. So we've spoken about before. We spoke about Love Island.
Right.
The people that are on there are not realistic.
Yeah.
Because they could go and find a partner down the local pub.
Yeah.
It's things like that. Even we spoke about Married at First Sight, and there was another one, Love is Blind, things like that.
Yeah.
And I watched some of these shows, and the people that are on it, like there was one of them, this girl said, I just don't think I'll ever find love any other way. I was like, you're 22.
I know.
Like, you haven't gone out. You haven't done anything.
Mate, dating for when I was growing up was very different. Didn't have social media or like a choice of thing. You have to take people out, date, wine and dine them.
The most stunning people with the most perfect bodies.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't, it didn't seem, there's a lot of this that isn't relatable, and it was just to the extreme.
Yeah.
Whereas with Traitors, there was a really nice blend of everyone.
Yeah, very diverse.
Yeah, but it was so diverse, you stopped looking for diversity.
Yeah. Perfect.
That was the nice thing about it.
Yeah.
It was just normal.
Yes.
And it was nice to watch because you it was like you took away, you weren't judging people by their looks anymore. It was personality. And so it's only afterwards you sort of like look a bit deeper. But watching the show, I've not had that feeling with any other show. Like, I can't watch any other show.
You really, again, Emmanuel, you've just said that. I got out of Finchley Station. This is the truth, honestly. This lad, Leon, his name is, into tech and computers, stopped me. He said, "You're Fay from the Traitors." I said, "Yes, I am." We had a chat for 10 minutes.
Love.
This is Scotland Strip. He's just followed me on Instagram.
Is that why you were late?
No, never late.
She's never late.
Trust me.
We were late.
But he said to me, "I love the Traitors." He knew all about it. He said, "You were one of my favourites." I said, "Yeah, they all say that when you chat to them."
Yeah.
But he was loved it. And do you know what? He said, reality TV, I can't wait for series 3.
Yeah.
He said, that's an incredible show. He has applied to go on it. Sadly, he hasn't got the call.
Yeah.
But he said, there's no show that can beat it. He said it's the most watchable show that he's ever known.